Avatar The Last Airbender. Why the much hyped new Netflix show is the worst of remake culture. Netflix's live action Avatar The Last Airbender is a beautifully crafted disappointment. TV review from Variety. Avatar The Last Airbender is everything that's disappointing about Netflix's live action cartoon shows. I just came from watching episode 4 right now, and I actually liked episode 1 and 2. Episode 3 was but episode 1 and 2 are really good. Then I watched episode 4, and I'm recording this so that I can just record my thoughts after watching episode 4, because it's the halfway mark of the series. Episode 4 is everything wrong with this series. I wanted to do reaction videos for all the other episodes, but I don't think I will, because episode 4 has shown me every issue with this show, and I can understand why people are getting disappointed. Episode 4 has 3 issues, and I believe these 3 issues affect the rest of the show. Number 1, characterization and tone. There's this scene in episode 4 where Uncle Iroh is talking to Aang. Aang and Uncle Iroh are typically some of the most upbeat, funny characters in the cartoon, but here there's barely any comedy or any humor. And I'm like, how did you have a scene with Uncle Iroh and Aang talking, and yet there was nothing funny that they said or did? Number 2 has to be changing plot lines that worked. So for example, there's this scene where in the live action, Katara and Sokka are in the caves, and then they end up finding these crystals that are supposed to help you find the way out of the caves. But then in the end, in the live action, they just tell you, oh, those crystals were just crystals. It wasn't anything big.
That's not right.
The crystals were just crystals, like I thought.
I'm like, first of all, this plot line is from book 2, not book 1. I thought you were adapting book 1. And then, number 2, why did you just make something that worked in the cartoon? Why did you make it? It worked in the cartoon. Why are you changing it? Don't do that. Don't take something that worked and then just tell people, whatever. I really dislike that. I mean, in some places you make changes so that it can make the story flow better. But why do you take something that would have worked even for the live action, and then you just change it into whatever, And then lastly has to be fusing storylines. And by fusing storylines, you make both storylines not work. For example, in episode 4, the Aang meeting Bumi story is in the same episode with Katara and Sokka in the tunnels. So in the cartoon, Aang was in the tunnels with Katara, and in the cartoon, when King Bumi meets Aang, Sokka and Katara are there. Bumi puts some stone on their fingers that grows and covers them in stone, and then Aang is supposed to think out of the box and fight Bumi and be able to save them. But instead, now, because in the live action, Katara and Sokka are somewhere else, that stake has been removed. Even here in the live action, they mention this Easter egg of this stone that's a piece of candy. Yeah, it's an Easter egg to the cartoon, but it was also a part of the plot which worked. Now you've diluted it by just making it an Easter egg. And then now, in the Katara and Sokka part, where they're in the tunnels, Aang was supposed to be there. In the cartoon, Aang was there. And there was this scene where Katara and Aang were about to kiss in the dark, as a way of, love shall lead the way, or love shall help them find the way out or something. And they kind of, it's dark, their torches go out, and it's sort of, the viewer tries to guess, did they kiss, did they not kiss? It was a way of trying to growing their romance, but it's not there. So you took 2 storylines, trying to connect them, but ended up diluting both. I get why people are disappointed with this show. When you watch episode 1 and 2, you'd think the rest of the show would be like that, but watching up to episode 4 has made me realize, wow, I'm assuming if I do reaction videos, I'll just end up constantly being like, oh, you changed this, oh, you changed this, oh, you changed this. So I won't do any more reactions. I just wanted to sort of record my feelings up to episode 4. When I reach episode 8, I'll do another review, but up to there, that's what I think. I understand where people are feeling disappointed. For people who've never watched the cartoon, they won't see an issue. It might work, most of it, but so far, just for entertainment value, I would give this a 7, but as a die-hard fan of the cartoon, I would give this a 4. And I'm only giving it a 4 because of how good the CGI is. The acting isn't the best, but I understand. Some of the CGI, especially when flying on Appa, doesn't look very good. The action scenes are good, but so far those are my thoughts. When I reach episode 8, I'll do another review.
No.